rated Cincinnati's defense was. And they're such a good unit. And you hear from people in the NFL saying you need to give more credit to the Bengals. You need to give more credit to Cincinnati. We can insert Kansas City into that conversation as an underrated defense. And how can you be underrated when you're back in another Super Bowl, when you've gone to the AFC Championship game 5 straight times? It's because all eyes have been on that offense and the best quarterback in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. But the Kansas City defense made plays when it counted late in that game. That throw downfield and double coverage, the tip, the interception, the pressure early, but then that late sack on Joe Burrow with under a minute to go as Cincinnati was forced to punt the ball back to Kansas City. Credit that defense, because if there was one guy that was going to blow up the game plan for the swag that is Joe Burrow, for the guy that's supposed to take over the NFL, the guy that was 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes, it was Chris Jones. And he did that yesterday. But what a game it was. And that ending, Emery, felt a lot like that basketball game we watched last week. New Mexico and Nevada. You don't want to call anything. You don't want to get involved, but you got to call that. And we know quarterbacks, they get a little bit extra, but a lot of players actually get a little more protection on the sidelines, especially quarterbacks. You have to know better than that. I know people are frustrated, thinking, oh, the refs getting involved again. But that was one of those things, once you saw it, you had to throw that flag. And it sets up Harrison Butker, 45-yard field goal. Good night now, Kansas City to the Super Bowl.
JJ Buck, I was disappointed. You know when you're like in trouble, you're not mad at the Bengals, you were just disappointed. That's how I feel as of yesterday's game yesterday. And hats off to the Chiefs. I was really impressed with their defense, but man, it shouldn't have gotten to that point. And I know a lot of people were blaming the refs in general, but you can't do that at that point in the game. You can't do that. You knew that was coming, especially now. It's so sensitive. They're going to call that on the quarterback. You just can't do it.
You have to
You can't.
The one-legged man run out of bounds.
You knew.
There was nowhere else for him to go. He was
knew.
heading out of bounds.
Yeah.
There was a Bengal defender that was actually standing in front of him.
And I tried
they had no timeouts left.
No timeouts. I tried to rewatch. I'm like, okay, maybe like a different angle. And it's like, bud, you didn't. It was just
still,
unnecessary.
Like, reaching for him
right.
And
I thought maybe like he was already. You know, sometimes you can't stop it. Like sometimes it's hard with these roughing the passers or roughing the quarterback calls. But I was like, oh, bud. And I'm not saying that's the game because they turned over the ball too. But no, that was such a disappointing ending. I wanted overtime.
A chance in conditions that they didn't want to kick field goals.
Yeah.
Like the long field goals in that weather.
Oh, no.
Both teams were like, no, we don't really want to try this today, so we're going for it on 4th down. We're going to try to be aggressive, but we didn't necessarily see that on the prior Kansas City drive, which we'll talk about that punt from the 37-yard line because there's a lot that goes into that. But you're right. The play set up the game winner.
But I was like, that was game.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, all right, no chance. Like, we're not going to overtime as I thought we were going to before that play. I was like, nope, that's icing on the cake.
So what was Bengals defensive end Joseph Asai thinking in that moment, chasing down Patrick Mahomes on one ankle? And Patrick Mahomes, man, there's so much to talk about for that performance.
I mean, we could talk this. I think we should do the next whole 3 hours on Patrick Mahomes.
Unbelievable.
I'm just like, how does he pull off these passes? Like anything. I'm just like,
you could tell he was throwing a lot of those with just his arm.
I know, because I was like, yeah, you could just,
not stepping into it.
That was unreal.
So you get him scrambling at the end of the game, knowing he just has to get to the sideline. But so what was Joseph Asai thinking in that moment that set up a closer field goal because it gave Kansas City 15 yards at the end of the game? Well, post-game, he stood up. He had to answer to the media. Asai said, quote, I was just in full chase mode. I was trying to push him, maybe get him going backwards. I knew he was going to the sideline. I was trying to make him go backwards, get the clock running.
I believe him.
I haven't seen it yet. I don't know how far out of bounds we were. You were behind them.
You already know he was going out of bounds, though. And I understand in the moment. Like I said, I'm not mad at him, but it's like, dude, especially now this year, those calls are going to happen regardless.
There was no way
I know Patrick Mahomes is mobile, but he's one-legged. Like
the angle that
no,
the Bengals defensive end was taking, that you were going to get him from behind at that moment.
no, he's already out of bounds though.
Because
Like
I
you already
what
know
he was thinking. He's thinking about the Dalton Schultz play last week.
Oh, totally. And if anyone, Mahomes, one-legged would have stayed in bounds. I mean, we would have seen. I get where his head was, but Mahomes was trying to get out of bounds too because the clock to manage the clock. So
Yeah, they had no timeouts left.
they had no timeouts left. So I was
That
like,
was the one
Bud,
thing he was doing. He's going to the sideline.
Bud.
The 15-yard penalty, 8 seconds.
That's not the
left.
reason why the Bengals lost the
Oh.
game, though. That's not the
No.
reason. But that was a huge, disappointing ending for this game.
It set him up to win the game in a tight contest that Joe Burrow was good in the second half. Saw some things you don't usually see from him. That first interception
I'm
was
surprised by the Kansas City defense.
He
too.
doesn't throw that football. When
Mm-mm.
was the last time you saw Joe Burrow throw that pass?
I have not seen it. And
No.
they I guess they didn't believe in a running game in the first half either. They were just like, oh, let's not run the ball, even though that's been a big key to our success this year.
Second half, the second interception, that was a great defensive play. But that's Joe Burrow. That's a fine line. Because you saw also in that second half, he threw into double coverage to Jamar Chase, and he had a huge conversion. Got him down inside the 10-yard line.
That was ridiculous.
The give and the take. You're going to trust Joe Burrow to make that throw.
Of
The
course.
second time he does it, Kansas City makes a great play on it. And that's why I go back to just the unit for KC. What that defense did was unbelievable in that game. Because both defenses played really good early.
So good. Stop run game on both sides of the ball, and they got after the quarterback. They got after Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had no chance.
Joe Burrow was
Chris
sacked
Jones-
5 times in the game. Then they adjusted, and you saw they pointed out, and they put the two, whether it's tight end and the running back, in the shotgun formation. So you had pretty much max protect that Joe Burrow was working out of. Still made plays in the second half. But when it came down to it, late game execution, it's one mistake that can change everything. The Bengals, they made a mistake. The 15-yard penalty at the very end of the game gets Harrison Butker close enough because 45, 46 yards, maybe 47 was all he had on that kick at the end when it was essentially 0 degrees outside. And they're kicking a rock for field goals, and he got just enough on it at the end. But how are you feeling about that AFC Championship game? Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, they came to play, and they gave you something enjoyable. Now maybe you feel like little unfinished business with the way it ended. That happens. Get close to the sideline. You got to be smart. You got to know who you're giving that extra shove to out of bounds, and you had to call it. Watching the end of the game, I had the same feeling like watching the end of the New Mexico-Nevada basketball game. So many people saying, the refs got to stay out of it. The refs can't throw that flag. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you're in a situation where, yep, this flag
I think
has to come out.
I think we all, as viewers and football fans, analysts, we were like, you see it happening almost in slow motion, and you're like, no, like you knew it. We all knew it was happening right before it was happening.
Exactly.
Like, here we go. Even Patrick Mahomes was like, I knew it. Like everyone knew it.
We knew it. Field goal game. Kansas City 23, Cincinnati 20. 505-246-0610. That is the 377 Brewery hotline and the text line to get involved this morning. There's so much to break down. Just in that fourth quarter, the final couple possessions, the decision for Kansas City to punt the football from the 37-yard line. But then you also take into account the penalty that was declined, but would they have accepted it? A lot going on in there. But then the defense stepping up, Cincinnati, with the ball late, and everyone said, Joe Burrow is getting it done. Joe Burrow is doing this. And Casey got the football back, and we saw how that game ended. But earlier in the day, Philadelphia handled San Francisco. And at this point, when you talk about Kyle Shanahan, he's elevated to a very good coach in the NFL. But should we start thinking maybe, is there a curse going on? Is there something that Kyle Shanahan himself just can't get over? And there's only one thing to blame Kyle Shanahan for yesterday in the NFC Championship game. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Makes a little sports analysis, pop culture, and great.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to
5.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
If there's one thing to blame Kyle Shanahan for in the NFC Championship game, it's not throwing the challenge flag on the Devontae Smith catch that led to the first touchdown of the game. In the moment, thought it was an unbelievable catch. The one-arm extension, bringing it down. What a conversion. Devontae Smith gets up. He knows. He's saying, let's go, let's run to the line. Speed. Still got to throw the flag if you're Kyle Shanahan. Even if you didn't get the immediate response you needed in your headset from whoever you have on your staff watching the replays, got to throw that flag. But when you go through 4 quarterbacks, and then you go back to QB3 who can't throw a football, it's going to be lights out against the only other team in the conference that can stack up roster-wise to the 49ers. And oh, by the way, they have a dude at quarterback. Fly, Eagles fly. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610. The Sports Animal, JJ Buck, A-Marie with you. Disappointing seeing Brock Purdy go down early. QB4. The fact that there was a moment in that game where Josh Johnson was taking snaps for the San Francisco 49ers.
Unreal.
In the NFC Championship game. And you were sitting there going, you know what? I think San Francisco still has a chance in this. It's unreal. And I think these are the 2 best rosters overall in the NFL. San Francisco and Philadelphia. And if I'm every other team, Kansas City or Cincinnati have done a lot of good stuff, but I think that just from top to bottom, what San Francisco and Philadelphia have done over the last few years is unbelievable. I want my scouts scouting their scouts. Just overall, the roster foundation, what they've built. But when you're down to QB4, but then you're down to QB at that point in time 5, because Brock Purdy's not the same quarterback with the UCL injury. He can't throw the football.
Yeah.
You're done.
No one could throw the football.
You're done. It's lights out. And that's a frustrating thing because Philadelphia is still a really good team. But if you're San Francisco, you have to be perfect defensively. And that's impossible at the moment in time to be perfect defensively against a Philadelphia team that found a way to run the football, that it wasn't Purdy all the time offensively for Philadelphia, but Jalen Hurts got it done. He didn't turn the football over. He didn't let San Francisco get any life defensively, and the pressure just mounted because once Josh Johnson went down, he couldn't do anything. The game was over. But it's the few moments early that you look at the missed opportunities for San Francisco, and then losing Brock Purdy, losing Josh Johnson. For this team to still be in that position this year, it is unreal because what happened? Trey Lance was their starting quarterback. Trey Lance. He gets hurt. They're like, you know what? Let's bring back Jimmy Garoppolo because he's still hanging out with us. Oh, we're winning a few games with Jimmy G. This is awesome. Oh, no, he gets hurt. Then it's Brock Purdy. Undefeated. Never lost. Everyone loves him. And he gets hurt. Then Josh Johnson. Dude's been on 13 NFL teams. No idea who the backup was. Last week, everyone's like, wait a second. If something bad were to happen, who is even backing up Brock Purdy? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Brock Purdy's going to get it done. He gets hurt. And then if you're San Francisco, people out there saying, oh, run the Wildcat, run this. It would look the same. The Wildcat offense would look the same as Brock Purdy just there handing off the football. There's nothing you can do at that moment in time. There is nothing left to be prepared for. There's only so much you can do throughout the week to then sit back and have people asking, oh, why weren't the 49ers prepared for that scenario? You can't prepare to get down to QB5. At some point in time, you go into the game, you're like, we got 2 quarterbacks, let's go. You don't spend a whole lot of time game planning for not having another quarterback available to play on the roster. And at that point in time, it's lights out, it's game over. It's a bummer. It's disappointing because this was a heavyweight matchup. These 4 teams, they're the best in the NFL. It wasn't like one of these teams got hot and it was a wild card run. These are the 4 best teams in the NFL, no doubt about it. And even if you're going to say, hey, Buffalo, a lot of people pick them, okay. Which you can pick them, but let's take a step back. Look at these 4 rosters on Championship Sunday, and how do you feel about them? And if you're San Francisco, it's just a bummer. Hey, Marie, I think George Kittle, he summed it all up. Post-game, he said, quote, we didn't really get to see all the 49er football that we wanted to put out there on tape, but life just kind of punches you in the face sometimes.
Absolutely. And also, I think if no one agrees with this is crazy. This would have been a completely different game if Brock Purdy was healthy, because you look at the receiving side, the receiving yards on both sides of the ball, the receivers had almost the same amount of total yards. And you wouldn't think that because the San Francisco 49ers couldn't throw the ball. Jalen Hurts, as you said, got the job done. The 49ers had 3 turnovers, but Jalen Hurts only had 121 yards too. The San Francisco defense did everything they could. And hats off to the Eagles for getting the job done, but man, this was another disappointing. This was very disappointing.
This is a one-score game.
This was
San Francisco could win this game.
Oh my God, it was insane.
No doubt.
Christian McCaffrey almost got them back in the game. God, it was just a big disappointing game. But I don't want to take from the Eagles because Jalen Hurts had to do what he had to do against this #1 defense in the NFL, in my opinion.
Well, even before
got it done.
Josh Johnson got hurt, early in the third quarter, the 49ers were so sloppy to end the first half. And this is where you can start talking about the referees, saying were they doing too much. The penalties for San Francisco in that second quarter were frustrating. A lot of them were the right call. But that's where you can look at the game and say the large topic, not having a quarterback, that changed everything. But that stretch there in the second quarter where Philadelphia converts 4th and 1 QB sneak in their own territory. Yep. They're driving. The drive is kept alive by some penalties. They go all the way down the field, make it 14-7. That's not a good moment for the 49ers defense.
No.
But then Josh Johnson just drops a shotgun snap. Philadelphia falls on that. And just like that, it is 21-7 before halftime. That was the game-changing moment. Because that, you still had QB4 in the field. That wasn't, oh, you're playing without a quarterback. That was where the game got away from San Francisco. Now they lost the ability to come back at all once Josh Johnson went down. But that was that moment. The end of the first half where Philadelphia didn't make the mistakes. Philadelphia didn't get the flags thrown on them and scored 14 points right before the half. That set everything up, which made it impossible at that point in time for San Francisco to come back, especially
they had no chance
once QB4 Josh Johnson got hurt. But that sets up the Andy Reid Bowl the Kelsey Bowl. Andy Reid, the former head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. You have Travis Kelce. You have his brother Jason Kelce.
Podcast is going to be interesting this week.
They have a great podcast. They have 2 weeks full of amazing content. The Kelsey Bowl, the Andy Reid Bowl, Philadelphia, and Kansas City. 505-246-0610 is the 377 Brewery hotline and text line this morning, getting your thoughts on Championship Sunday. The weekend started Friday night. In the pit, it was lit. New Mexico and Air Force. And this was a must-win game for the Lobos. And who came up clutch? It was tight. The Falcons were looking good. They were playing some of their best basketball on Friday night. But there was a man that stepped up to lead the way. Clutch finish for the Lobos in a must-win game. It is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by Sandia Tram and 10-3.
Treat your special Valentine to a breathtaking tram ride up the...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Breeze is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to
Friday night at the Pit. It's becoming pretty cool. Get your weekend started. Lobo basketball.
Sold out Lobo basketball.
National Spotlight. Over 15,000 at the Pit on Friday night with Air Force in town. Good on you, Lobo fans. And you got yourself a heck of a game. Got a little nervous watching Air Force execute their offense. Now, there's something that is so impressive about Air Force. Like, it's one of those that you watch, you know what they're doing. The Princeton style offense, they're going to run a lot of clock, ball movement, the back cuts. But when they execute it to that level, it is so impressive. Like, even when you know it's coming, it's so impressive. Because I watch a lot of basketball, Amory, where I hear coaches screaming, reverse the ball, cut, ball movement. Like, just like pleading for their teams to do that. And Air Force does it. They don't think twice. And when they're doing that and then they hit some three-point shots, they're going to get you to think. And they got the Lobos thinking because they actually took the lead late in the second half. And boy, in a must-win game for the Lobos, they got it done. JJ Buck Amory with you here on the opening drive, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. Lobos rocking the turquoise uniforms on Friday night, looking good on CBS Sports Network. Down the stretch. So the game was a 1-point game in favor of Air Force. Taylor hits a three, makes it 63-62, 6:38 left in the game. The Lobos close out the game and get 12 points from Jamal Mashburn Jr. He was clutch defensively. They locked in. They hit a lot of tough shots down the stretch, and they had to close that game out. And why is that a must-win game? Because right now the Lobos still have a solid ceiling with what's left on their schedule. When you look at the games ahead, they're at Utah State Wednesday. They get the return game at the Pit against Nevada. They still have Boise State and San Diego State. So there's 4 quad 1 level opportunities on their schedule. But the Air Force games, which they got a return game up to Clune Arena here in about 10 days. Wyoming again, San Jose State, Fresno State, Colorado State. The Lobos can't lose those games. Because as good as their resume is when you look at beating a St. Mary's, winning at San Diego State, this is still a bubble team. And while they have that 5 to 6 seed ceiling, if they win out, the reality is they're probably dropping one of those games with Nevada, Boise State, San Diego State. So if you're going to sit here and say, well, when Steve Alford and the Wolfpack come to the Pit, that's a revenge game. They're not winning that game at the Pit. Okay. Well, Boise State's sure as heck going to feel the same way about the Lobos going up to Extra Mile Arena. So you got to figure, even in one of those big-time games, in San Diego State, coming to the Pit, having lost to New Mexico, going to be challenges. And you're not going to go undefeated the rest of the way. But if you drop a game, it cannot be to Air Force, Wyoming, San Jose State, Fresno State, and Colorado State. Because Lobos are still a bubble team. And while their ceiling is still high with what's there for them to potentially win, losses can quickly push them down the bubble. But what you saw to end that game, Donovan didn't sprain his ankle, so you didn't see the same guard rotation late that Rich Pitino has leaned on. Having Jalen House, Mashburn, and Ditt on the floor at the same time. KJ Jenkins had to step up. Morris Udeze was big time, just getting the ball inside to him, fouling out any big that Air Force had left on the roster. But to see Jamal Mashburn Jr. down the stretch, big-time buckets, 12 points. This team has played different styles. This team knows how to win games different ways. And that was clutch at home because that's the reality of it, Amory, is you can't lose anymore to the bottom of the Mountain West Conference. Even though the conference, yeah, I get it.
And especially
anyone
these
can
home
get
games, especially these home games, JJ.
But at home, you cannot lose these games.
No, there can be 0 games lost at the Pit. Sold out games. You got to take advantage of these home games. especially the second half, the Lobos came out not looking good. I was a little nervous, JJ.
There's a little trend there.
There's a little
in the
trend
second
there in
half.
that little second half. Come out a little flat. You can't, and you're at home. There was a point where they didn't score for, I think it was almost 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Can't do that on the road. Can't do that on the
Air
road.
Force got off to a 17-6 start.
And our
in the second
offense,
half.
and the Lobos offense saves them every time. So got to figure out this defense too.
And that's one of the things that we'll talk about this week. And that will be a theme for the opening drive as we get ready for Utah State Wednesday night, D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. That's going to be a tough game. Is the Lobos offense is up there with anyone.
Oh.
They're efficient. They're really good. Can they find enough
Top
defense?
backcourt.
Can they find enough defense to be the team that Jamal Mashburn Jr. thinks they could be? And if you didn't hear what Jamal Mashburn Jr. said post-game, is going to get your ears perked for a lot of Lobo fans. But 505-246-0610. Chad, I want to talk about the Lobos. What's going on, Chad?
Hey, guys. Just checking in on the Lobo game on Friday night. It was very eventful, more eventful than we anticipated it being there. Didn't think it was going to be that close, but it was an exciting game to watch because of that. But, yeah, there's a couple things I noticed. Air Force, just being Air Force and hustling and putting full effort in, you're watching the game, and they do not stop moving on offense, constantly moving, constantly rotating, constant. So that really got to wear on our defense, having to cover everybody, and that, you know, those backdoor passes that they were getting, it was just, man, they did not move. And it was waiting for that one moment where we just had they had that extra step because of their effort. And kudos to them for just being in incredible shape and just forcing us to play the best defense we could just to keep up with them. The other thing was, I was just so waiting for them to just kind of like what Shaq used to say, feed the big dog. Just, you could see Morris was bigger than any of their bigs. As far as his weight, his height, he was just gonna kind of eat them up. He was, you know, he's a graduate. The guy covering him, I think, was a freshman at one point. Finally, I just wanted him to kind of assert himself, and in the second half, you finally saw that happening. But this is what you can do every time, Morris. Do it. You have that. You know, do that all the time, man. Because it really, once he kind of asserts himself, it really opens up the offense. That's it. That's all I want to share.
Appreciate it, Chad. Yeah, Mo going inside, fouling out. What bigs Air Force had left was huge. Getting to the free throw line. Lobos want to play inside-out basketball. Richard Pitino talked about that post-game. We'll hear from Richard Pitino this morning. Said that he had some really good comments about Air Force. Then, of course, about the crowd that we saw once again at the pit on Friday night. But the Lobos victorious 81-73, a big-time closing stretch Friday night at the pit. 505-246-0610 is the phone number to get in. A lot of y'all still want to talk the NFL, and we will, including the OC in Dallas taking one for the team. But guess what, Cowboy fans? That won't change a thing. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young. Here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudahl with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first.
Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the seam, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe he's playing zone right now.
Fight's 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
A perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Carried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
Put this shot, they got a shot up with 5 seconds. Transition 3's up, and it's in at the buzzer by Ian Tonsberg.
Picture perfect execution. Ball that hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually happen. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera.
I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Brian Calb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Decision on their offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore and the Dallas Cowboys mutually agree to part ways. So Dallas fired Kellen Moore. That's what happened. This was not the right move for the Dallas Cowboys. This is doing something just to do it. It looks like Mike McCarthy is going to handle play calling duties for the Dallas Cowboys. That's got to make you feel good, Cowboy fans, right? Because everyone hates Mike McCarthy. Blame everything on Mike McCarthy. So now they give him more responsibility. There is an element of if you do the same thing over and over and you get the same result, then you need to change. But I don't think Kellen Moore was where the Dallas Cowboys had to change things. I don't think Kellen Moore, there's a reason Dak Prescott got a little turnover happy this season. But in a statement yesterday, the Cowboys said that Moore and the team, reached a decision to mutually part ways because it was a end of the season review process with additional discussions. So I took a little bit of the time, but I don't think that was the right move for the Dallas Cowboys. One thing that was solid for this team in the last couple of seasons, the offensive and defensive coordinators. The numbers will back it up for Kellen Moore. And this is one where you can look at Dak Prescott and go, well, was it him? Were they calling too many pass plays? At some point in time, you got to put it on the shoulder of the guy that you pay the 6th most money to in the NFL to play quarterback. It's the opening drive. JJ Buck, Amory, 505-246-0610 is the 377 Brewery hotline. We got people hungry to talk the NFL. Jared, you're on the opening drive. Jared, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, good morning. Just real quick, the Lobos had their drip on Friday, man. That looked good. I liked how they looked with the uniforms. I was into it, and I don't know if that's the correct terminology, but I like that swag with the little Lobo Louie on the shorts and stuff. That looked good, and I think we as a community, when the Lobos are doing good and we get behind them and there's a little bit of fun with the alternative uniforms, it's just a great culture, I think, that we can get behind, and I love it. But anyway, so with the quarterbacks, with the San Francisco game, I think this is a great example of how polarizing, you were just talking about the offensive coordinator for Dallas, that the quarterback position is. If you don't have a good quarterback, or a quarterback, but you're going to have a quarterback, it doesn't matter how good the rest of the team is. And there it was, right, for the whole world to see. So everybody stop talking about, if the quarterback's paid too much or this or that. The quarterbacks get paid because they make it happen. That's why they get paid. And when Dak Prescott doesn't make it happen, that's the move. And that is what I'm saying is the edification for that is the 49ers-Eagles game. You got Jalen Hurts. He's not lighting it up by passing, but by controlling the game, making good movements, being a leader out there. That's why quarterbacks get paid. So let's just get off of this topic where, do you get rid of the quarterback? Do you change up the offensive coordinator or the coach? You need, number one, a good quarterback or two to be successful in the NFL. Thank you. Have a good.
Appreciate it, Jared. That's a great point, because I think we forget that good quarterbacks on rookie deals are still really good quarterbacks, and then people freak out like, oh no, you got to pay them and you're not going to be good anymore. And San Francisco is the best roster top to bottom in the NFL, and you can't win a game without a quarterback. Like even the San Francisco 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, that offense, just trying to figure out, hey, we're going to lean on the run game. Can't get it done. Because they were going against the one team that could match them in roster construction, and it was the Philadelphia Eagles. Speech wants to talk about Kansas City. Speech, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, JJ?
Good,
I do agree with you firing Kellen Moore from the Cowboys was a wrong move. But I have a question for you. I mean, okay, everyone talks about officiating. Now, I'm just saying, I mean, we got two teams out there. They're always playing like hell. They're doing whatever they can to get away with what they can. I'm just saying, do you know if these referees get training, if they look at films before? I mean, maybe have an ex-offensive lineman or DB come in and speak to them, say, hey, this is what we're going to try and get away with, or whatever, because it seems a lot of these calls are just basically judgment calls the referees are making.
That's a funny take, because I'm sure there's a lot of people saying, do these refs even know what they're doing? What are they?
I think
what are they watching?
it takes a lot to become a ref. And
they do get training.
Guys,
they do evaluate film. They do get graded on their
It's a
performances.
lot. It's a lot. It's an organization. I know it's hard. I even had going back and forth with my takes today because I wasn't happy with the officiating, but I was just, it's tough. You can't blame the refs, though.
There was that stretch at the end of the first half of 49er fans where I get it. Like, you're like,
it was
again?
Can't catch a break.
But when you go into replay and your defensive lineman is pushing the Eagles' offensive lineman in the face mask, that's hands to the face.
There's chirping. There's a lot of emotion, and it was hard because at the end of the day, it was not the refs. It was a fourth string quarterback went down in this game. It wasn't.
It took away the opportunity.
It took away the
any
opportunity.
comeback.
It took away the Disney movie we were all waiting. We wanted the Brock Purdy. Well, not Eagle fans, but I'm saying like NFL fan. When you were just watching this game, you're like, "Oh, this is a Disney movie in the making, man." And it was just disappointing.
You didn't get a chance to see
you get a chance to see it.
The 49ers could have looked like at any point. Because even with QB4, when Josh Johnson came in, I was sitting there going, it is insane that I think San Francisco still has a chance.
Well,
and they're on QB4.
Because they give you a chance, JJ, because of Debo, Christian McCaffrey, all the weapons they have. They were still making some plays here and there. And then, that one touchdown by Christian McCaffrey, you were like, okay, maybe.
CMC.
So you're saying there's a chance.
CMC.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I thought Jared had a good point.
And with the 49ers defense, I thought they had a chance.
With roster construction in the NFL. And how we talk about quarterbacks, quarterback paydays, what that means for the rest of your team. Gotta have a quarterback that can throw a football downfield, at least have a chance. And when I was taken away from San Francisco, there was no coming back.
There was no chance.
No chance. All they needed was a chance. Now, maybe for San Francisco, this pushes them towards making that one phone call. And who would that call be to? It's Opening Drive, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Don't sweat the technique. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Sweat the technique.
Kansas City, Philadelphia, the Andy Reid Bowl, Kelsey Bowl. The Super Bowl is set. NFC Championship game,
Don't sweat the technique.
maybe we'll see them run it back next year with healthy quarterbacks for San Francisco.
We're going to
But
see this again and again.
the AFC Championship game, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, just sit back and watch. Because if you're a fan of an AFC team, these dudes are going to be beating you for a while. It's Tom Brady, Peyton Manning 2.0.
Absolutely.
Now, can Josh Allen be Ben Roethlisberger? Can he sneak in there and win a Super Bowl? Is Trevor Lawrence the guy that's coming? Can Justin Herbert withstand Brandon Staley? Because Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow pulled away from everyone else. And Joe Burrow, a little shaky. He responded in the second half.
But
he came out, big throws, hit T. Higgins, converted Jamar Chase. That first interception, that wasn't Joe Burrow football. What was that?
But also, what happened? Was this offensive line just a fluke against the Buffalo Bills? This offensive line looked atrocious yesterday. And hats off to the Kansas City Chiefs, because I thought the Kansas City Chiefs defense has looked depleted. And yesterday they ate Bengals offensive line alive. It was bad.
This is where underrated works.
I love it.
Because that's one of those things that it just comes into the conversation.
Joe Burrow had no time.
Like when you're talking overrated, underrated, like it always just comes in because that's where you go. Yeah. No, this truly works for Kansas City because we're hyper focused on the offense because it is the best quarterback in the NFL in Patrick Mahomes and the numbers that he puts up. So Kansas City's defense is underrated. Chris Jones is up for Defensive Player of the Year, a defensive tackle. The only person we've seen do that recently is Aaron Donald. And Chris Jones is now in that conversation. And Chris Jones had the big-time sack.
Multiple.
Which forces the punt.
Yes.
With under a minute to go in the fourth quarter. So you have Frank Clark and Chris Jones.
And you give Patrick Mahomes 38 seconds with a broken ankle.
And everyone thought, well, you give Joe Burrow, a minute and some odd.
And timeouts. And they had 3 timeouts. I was like, all right, this is going to overtime. That was my thought.
And the Kansas City defense stepped up. And yes, that's where the word works. What happened? The Kansas City defense happened. And there was one guy that you point to on that unit leading up to the weekend. And we all circled him. It was Chris Jones. And he blew up the Bengals game plan. The Bengals had to go to max protect. Now it worked because then Joe Burrow, as mentioned, the start of the second half, started making some plays downfield.
Running the ball.
They just couldn't run the football either against that front as much as you'd like them to.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, both teams could not run the ball.
And then it feels like, if you're Cincinnati, this one hurts. This one stings. This is a missed opportunity because you didn't get to Patrick Mahomes on one ankle. You didn't force Patrick Mahomes into the mistakes that we saw from Joe Burrow. Patrick Mahomes on one ankle what a gritty performance, because he was hobbled. You could see early in this game, he was throwing so many things with just his arm and not stepping into it. And then you look down and you're like, wait a second. He was 29 of 43, 326 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That man is special. And when people said, 70% of Patrick Mahomes is still better than the majority of the NFL, they were right. Because you saw it yesterday against a good defense. And I think Cincinnati and Kansas City, both these defenses for the last couple of seasons, you can talk about them the same way. Because I think last year and most of this year was, the Bengals had an underrated defense and didn't get a lot of credit. It's because we're hyper-focused on the offense.
That's all it is.
And these are two really good teams. And Kansas City has made some really good roster decisions because they're young in the secondary. And, oh, by the way, Patrick Mahomes put up those numbers, and then you realize, Juju Smith-Schuster wasn't playing. He got banged up early in that game. There's a reason. I was like, oh, they're really featuring Sky Moore today. This is interesting, the rookie.
And Scantling, yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's because the receiving core was decimated. Juju Smith-Schuster with the knee.
Yep.
Mecole Hardman, a pelvis injury. Kadarius Toney injured his ankle again. He wasn't playing. And then so Marquise Valdez-Scantling goes off, 6 receptions, 116 yards, and a touchdown. Justin Watson was out due to illness, a guy that's popped throughout the season. Travis Kelce, we found out, hurt his back in practice.
Like what?
And the dude still puts up those numbers.
Patrick Mahomes has 1 foot.
On 1 ankle.
1 ankle.
Bengal fans, you should be bitter this morning.
And the Bengals, they also stopped the Kansas City run too. I'm telling you, both teams contained the run. So the fact that Patrick Mahomes on 1 ankle still did his, I guess it's normal Patrick Mahomes throws. It's not even 1 ankle Patrick Mahomes throws. That was insane how they were able to still produce that much offense with how injured they were. And they couldn't run the ball.
Patrick Mahomes
this is insane.
Completed his first 6 passes outside the pocket for 69 yards and a touchdown. He was able to do that on 1 ankle. And when you watch Patrick Mahomes and then at the end of some of the scrambles and he's running and how he was hopping up on 1 leg, this isn't something that you're overblowing. This was a legit damaging high ankle sprain that the dude gutted it out last weekend. Came back in 1 week, put on an unbelievable performance. In these 2 weeks, all eyes are going to be on Patrick Mahomes' ankle, that rehab. It's going to be good for Jalen Hurts because he's dealing with that shoulder injury. And so both quarterbacks getting 2 weeks to just get to at whatever level they can. Now it's going to be different because there's nothing underrated about the Eagles' defense. The Eagles' defense is better than the Bengals. The Eagles' defense has 78 sacks and counting on the season. They're going to be coming. And you can say, well, you keep
They've
saying
been getting
that.
healthy,
You can
too.
keep saying that. They have better pass rushers than Cincinnati. You see what Hassan Reddick has been doing all season long? This guy that Arizona cut. Arizona couldn't figure out how to use a first-round pick in Hassan Reddick. Philadelphia picks him up and he just keeps getting to the quarterback. And Reddick was the guy that hit Brock Purdy, which caused the fumble, but eventually found out it was a UCL injury for Brock Purdy coming off the edge. So it is a different challenge for Kansas City against Philadelphia. And that's why this 2 weeks is huge for Patrick Mahomes. Because, yeah, he moved around. He got outside the pocket. He's going to have to do that
He was hurting.
against Philadelphia and be that dude that we saw yesterday. I didn't think he was going to be that dude. I thought he'd be good. I thought he'd be a one-possession game still. But I didn't think he'd be making that many plays on the move on that ankle. But when it comes to the quarterback position, the one phone call that I think San Francisco now makes, and I didn't feel that way before this week, and it's not because I don't think Brock Purdy could get it done. It's not because I don't think San Francisco wouldn't be confident going into next season saying, hey, Brock Purdy, the incumbent starter, Trey Lance, healthy, will give you an opportunity to win this job, to see what you can do. I think they'd be confident in that. But the bad luck at the quarterback position for San Francisco, it's becoming almost curse-like for the 49ers.
It is.
With Jimmy G not being able to stay healthy, Trey Lance getting hurt, but then Brock Purdy comes in, you have this magical run, and then he gets hurt. Then your QB4 even takes a hit and gets concussed. I think just due to wanting to see 1 year, I think now a phone call to Tom Brady from San Francisco is not crazy.
Absolutely not. Because they're in a weird position, too, going into next
This
year.
roster is too good.
Too good.
To waste another season
And
of what ifs at the
obviously,
quarterback.
It isn't career-ending injuries, but is it a sign? Is the universe screaming at you? I'm serious. Is the universe screaming at you that 4 quarterbacks went down this season? 4! And you made it to the NFC Championship. And what's the most important position, quote-unquote, in football? Quarterback.
Stability at the quarterback
And
position.
I'm
You
sure
got that
Tom
from
Brady
Brock
would
Purdy.
love that roster.
But that's also why I don't think it's crazy to consider 1 year with Tom Brady.
No,
because you have a stacked roster.
Until you figure that out, that curse, until you get it out of your system.
I'd be confident with Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. I would be if I'm San Francisco. Because that organization has proven they can build a roster. Brock Purdy has showed you he can make some plays. And it's not just, hey, manage the game for us, don't lose it. It's, hey, go make some throws. Go get us one of these games. So I'd be confident there. But all of a sudden, I'm thinking just in the back of my mind, man, if we just ran it 1 year, I don't care if he's 45, 46 years old. In this offense,
I don't know. I'd be worried about that curse. If Tom Brady goes down.
I'm thinking about it now. If I'm San Francisco, not due to the fact I don't think Brock Purdy could get it done. He didn't get a chance. Where this conversation could change quickly.
What about Rodgers, too? Rodgers or Brady?
Rodgers, the contract, I think, is a bigger issue there.
Yeah, I'm just saying
I
to have,
think
that one quarterback.
with Tom Brady being an unrestricted free agent,
makes more sense.
He is known to take less money. You're like, hey, Tom, we get it. You're at the end. We give you that manageable $30 million salary.
I just want to play.
Come back to California. Didn't he grow up a 49ers fan?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's
Yes.
possible now.
Yes.
Just because it feels like that position is cursed. And is Tom Brady the one guy? You throw it out there for a year. With this roster, they could be right back in this position, and you just need the guy to be able to finish the NFC Championship game to see what you got. And I think it has to be on the mind of the San Francisco 49ers. But also, the big factor in this, Brock Purdy's UCL injury. Is it just a strain? Or is it ruptured? Because if it's ruptured, we're talking Tommy John surgery, a long recovery process, and you're looking at not being able to count on Brock Purdy to be in the quarterback competition to start the season. And so that could change it as well, the severity of the injury. But a phone call to Tom Brady, it ain't crazy now if you're San Francisco. 505-246-0610, the 377 Brewery hotline and text line. This morning, you can email the show, jj@sportsanimalabq.com. When we mentioned the health of Patrick Mahomes and that ankle, it's going to be one of the huge factors in the Super Bowl. But Kansas City, Philadelphia, your initial thoughts, where are you leaning? What was the opening line look like for this game? What stands out to you? We got 2 weeks to break it down, but it's first reactions, first thoughts, because sometimes when you go with that gut right away, it can lead you in a good direction. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after.
Philadelphia, Kansas City. 2 weeks, Super Bowl Sunday. Initial thoughts on the matchup. Think about Patrick Mahomes and his ankle. If he can do that on 1 week, what can you do in 2 weeks? Jalen Hurts. A couple more days, do his shoulder rehab. He looked good the last 2 weeks throwing a football, especially go back to that New York Giants game. No hesitation in his throws downfield. He was pushing the football downfield. Missed a couple yesterday. One that stands out, A.J. Brown down the sideline. But he was confident. They're running the football with him. They're not scared of that shoulder. That's good to see the last 2 weeks. Now, both these teams get a chance to get right, as right as you can be at this point in the season. The Andy Reid Bowl. And the Eagles opened up as slight favorites, 2-point favorites for Philadelphia, according to Caesar Sportsbook. The favorite team in the Super Bowl is 39-17 straight up, according to archived point spreads. How about this, Amory? Caesar Sportsbook reported taking 24 bets of $10,000 or more on the money line within the first hour yesterday when it came out. We're going to have a lot of time to build up to the Super Bowl. The prop bets are going to be all over the place. This is the most bet on sporting event in the world, I bet. I would say it's up there because the prop bets, the player bets, money line, first half spread, quarter spreads, you name it. But your early thoughts on the Super Bowl, like that gut reaction, where are you leaning in this game?
I'm going to put my emotions aside, JJ. I have a hard time with the Philadelphia Eagles, but I want to fully respect dominant teams. But I just my gut reaction is I'm like, seeing Patrick Mahomes play on one leg and him getting 2 weeks of rest, I just don't think you can stop that man. And I'm leaning towards Andy Reid being like, yo, what's up, Eagles? Not like revenge, but like because he did well in Philadelphia too, just didn't win one. I just think it's going to be so much fun. Like, not rivalry. I'm going to try to come up with the best adjective to describe for Andy Reid what this is for him. But Chiefs all the way.
You got some time. I'm leaning towards Patrick Mahomes as well. My initial gut reaction. I'm probably going to come back towards Philadelphia at some point in time and sway back and forth a couple weeks just because of the matchup. And Philadelphia's defensive line is better than Cincinnati. Like, they can get to Patrick Mahomes a few more times.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see, too, because this is a unit.
And coaching, though. Coaching.
Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, and I see the dude's face. I'm blanking on the defensive coordinator for Kansas City. Versus kind of the young, up-and-coming staff of Philadelphia. They've checked all the boxes in Philadelphia the last 2 seasons. So this is a great game between two great teams. Opening drive, JJ Buck Amory. Thank you for joining us on this Monday morning. 505-246-0610, 377 Brewery hotline and text line. Travis has some thoughts on the NFL. What's going on, Travis?
Good morning, JJ and Amory.
Travis love
in the
energy.
building, holding it down. Good stuff, guys.
Thanks.
Not. I mean, I agree with both of your picks for the Super Bowl, but that's actually not why. That's not where my head is at this morning. Over the weekend, I saw something that triggered a little post-traumatic stress disorder as a Lobo fan. I don't know if you guys saw Lakers at the Celtics.
Oh my goodness.
2 seconds left in that game. It's a tie game. LeBron drives the lane, obviously gets hammered, right? Arm gets hit. The shot doesn't go down. The refs swallow the whistle. Game goes into overtime. Terrible technical foul on Pat Bev.
For
Lakers
the
end up
camera?
losing that game.
For bringing the camera over?
What? Yeah. I mean, I just think it was a boneheaded decision to bring the camera over. I respect what Pat Bev was doing, but here's the thing: if it's a foul 2 seconds into the game, it's a foul in the closing 2 seconds of that game. And these refs, these umpires across sports, but definitely in basketball, because they don't want to influence the game, are swallowing the whistles and are influencing the game. Lobos got hit with the same thing against Nevada. The refs didn't want to influence the game after the Udeze rebound. He's getting smacked in the face. He kind of pushes everybody, tries to clear some space. He ends up getting hit with that flagrant one. Obviously, Lobos go on to lose that game. And the similar thing with the Lakers. Now, look, I'm not sweating LeBron James. He'll be fine. He's worth like $350 billion. He'll be fine. But the point is, like, there has to be some integrity here to the game. And you know that had the Lakers been down 2, same play, they would have called that foul, allowing LeBron to try to even up that game at the free throw line so that it could go to overtime. This was a conversation that we had a long, long time ago with baseball. It's a conversation that we're having now with football and with basketball. But you have replay. We have the technology now to make sure that these kinds of bad calls or these missed calls don't happen. But there has to be some credibility from some of these refs. And you, by swallowing the whistle in crunch time, by not wanting to influence the outcome of the game by calling the foul, they are directly influencing the outcome of these games, and it's not good for the sport, and it's really, really bad. So, thanks, I appreciate it.
Travis, you're on point with that. By not calling the obvious fouls late in games, you're impacting the game when you're trying to stay out of the way. If that's a thing for referees. Fans think it's a thing. Fans, the ref's going to swallow the whistle at the end of the game. Call the obvious fouls. And I had my take on that. That segment is all wrapped up and ready to go. The end of that Lakers-Celtics game, LeBron was fouled. He was hit on the arm on the layup attempt in a tie game. Now, he acted like he had just lost the NBA Finals after the call. But that's a frustration of the Lakers season. They've lost a lot of games in the fourth quarter. They've lost a lot of close games. And that's why you look at the Lakers and they're fighting for a play-in spot in the NBA playoffs. Because they've lost a lot of games like this. And with the tie game, LeBron James driving to the basket is what you want to see. Him be aggressive. And he was really good in the fourth quarter. He should have been at the free throw line shooting free throws. But they swallowed the whistle. Then you saw Patrick Beverley
in between. Camera.
That's showing up the referee. Like, he can laugh, but that's a technical foul, man. And you start overtime with the Celtics, getting a quick advantage. Like at some point in time, Pat Bev, you're the energy guy. You're like, hey, I'm gonna get under your skin. Like, sit down, man. Like, you don't need to be walking over the ref.
Bad look, by the way. Sometimes
that's a clown.
Sometimes
move.
you just don't get the call either.
You're already screaming. The refs are letting you go because they knew they missed it. They could have teed up LeBron for the way he was acting. They could have teed up everyone on that Lakers bench. They let you yell. They let you have your moment. Don't walk over there with the camera, dude. Like, I get it. You're pissed off. It's a missed opportunity. You got to reset. Take that tech right before overtime. Like, give the Celtics that early edge. Like, Pat Bev, like, sometimes, man, like, sit down.
He did not help the
Walk
situation
over.
at all.
So what Patrick Beverley did.
That does not help you.
Is he grabbed a camera from a photog that was on the baseline.
I think it was disrespectful.
And he walked over to the ref pointing at it. Like, look, this is the moment LeBron's arm got hit on that layup attempt.
They know.
Of course you're going to get teed up.
By the way, they know, by the way.
And what happens to these referees? They're graded. Does it change the way you feel as a fan when there's a missed call in the game? No, it doesn't. And the NBA, they released the final 2-minute report. And they acknowledge, hey, this ref crew missed X amount of calls this game. Does it make it better? No, because you missed it in the moment. The one thing I will say, Jeff Van Gundy kind of echoing what Travis just said on the phone. He's like, we have replay. Why are we not using it? Is I would give a team in the final minute in NBA basketball an extra challenge. So you have your normal, all right, this is what you get for the game.
Interesting.
But in the final minute, you get one more. So if you want to sit on your challenge and not use it, then you go into the final minute of the fourth quarter with 2. Because there's already so many reviewable plays that down the stretch, I get it, game slows down, out of bounds, possession, things like that. But I'll give a team one chance to sit on an extra challenge that they are given in the final minute for a situation like that. Because I do not want to have to review everything.
Oh, no. It's already the longest minute in sport.
Because it's the same conversation we were having last week about what happened Lobos and Nevada. Maurice Udeze gets a rebound. Did he get hit a couple times? Sure. He gets frustrated. Boom, arm goes out. Well, that's the one you have to call. But now I guess it's a different conversation. We're talking about the NBA right now versus instituting it in college basketball. But give a team one more challenge. All right. You want to save it for that moment where you think LeBron James is fouled in a tie game going up to the hoop? There you go. You have it. Then maybe you can take 2 into the final minute, or you get one more. Something. Because when it's that obvious to everyone else and the refs missed it, you got to address it. Must-win game coming down the stretch. Lobo stepped up. They were in a tight contest at the pit. Why is it a must-win game at home against Air Force? It's because this season is about March for Lobo basketball. What did head coach Richard Pitino have to say about his team's performance? He'll tell you next. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by Blake's Lotta Burgers.
We're making
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
and act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, why is a Friday night game at home when you're favored by 12.5 points. A must-win game. Well, you're big-time favorites if you're the Lobos, but you're still on the bubble. They have some really strong wins at San Diego State, at St. Mary's. And the Gales, game-winning shot to win at BYU Saturday night. That helps the Lobos. And they're 2 true road wins that are going to be atop their resume. There's not a margin for error for the Lobos because the non-conference schedule just wasn't that strong. And it's crazy to say out loud. You're like, wait a second, this team is 19-3,
which is awesome.
6-3 in Mountain West play. But you're telling me like these are games you can't lose? Yeah, because you don't want to start sliding down that bubble. You don't want to turn it into a team that could be looking at the first 4. And even with a gaudy record, if you take bad losses, don't add quad 1 wins, that's the reality of the situation. But the Lobos closed the game out on Friday night. Solid performance, big-time performance down the stretch. And this Air Force team, when they're clicking, they are fun to watch, but they are so frustrating to play against or be an opponent because they just take you down, tick, 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 boom, hit a 3 with 5 seconds left in your shot clock. And that's when the Falcons are dangerous. A-Marie, JJ Buck back with you. It's the opening drive, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. Adrian holding it down on ProView Networks. The game was 63-62. Air Force had the lead, 6:38 left. Taylor hits a 3. And then in the final 6.5 minutes, Lobos close the game on a 19-10 run. You get 12 points during that stretch from Jamal Mashburn Jr., who eclipsed by 1,000 points as a Lobo in his career. The numbers are just outrageous for Mashburn. But they locked in defensively. They attacked the basket. They made plays when it counted. That was a clutch performance because that was as much mental as it was physical. Because the Lobos had to handle Air Force being locked in, running that offense, taking the time down, forcing you to defend for 30 seconds. And they didn't respond to start the second half. Air Force came out, outscored the Lobos 17-6. It was a back-and-forth game, but they won a different way. They won against a different style. And that's what is impressive about this Lobo basketball team is they've beaten good teams. They've handled teams like Air Force coming in trying to knock them off. And when you have a Fresno State, you have a UNLV loss on your resume, you got to be clean at home against the bottom 6 of the Mountain West Conference. Because we saw UNLV, they got another one. At home, they beat Nevada this weekend. So you can get got in the Mountain West. It's understandable. This conference, the top 5, very good. 5 at-large candidates. Bottom half, better, competitive teams. But when we're talking about March, A-Marie, and what this Lobo basketball team can do, these are games you got to have. And especially a Friday night in the pit. 15,000 showing up. Lobo basketball fans seem to be enjoying these Friday night games. Yeah, getting some good atmospheres ahead of the weekend. It ain't too bad. I'll take a Friday night 8 o'clock start. So 505-246-0610-377 Brewery hotline. That's the text line. Richard Pitino enjoyed the fans on Friday night. What did he have to say about his team's performance and the fans as the Lobos got it done in the clutch? We'll play those clips. We get back on track. It's opening drive, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Try Wendy's homestyle French toast.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
KNML.
It's gonna be a little chilly in Logan, Utah, but it's a good thing they play inside. They had a wind chill warning in Logan, Utah, like a -1 this morning.
Woof.
And why do I
That's
know
rough.
that? I still have my weather app set for Logan. I was there over the weekend. So UNM women's basketball was on Saturday. The men travel tomorrow to Logan, Utah. It was 34 and snow flurries. It was beautiful for us. It's going to be like 15 and breezy. That's a good thing they play inside the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum, which is you come for the basketball, you stay for the seats from 1970. Which they say that the seats are that way because it makes it look like there's people in the arena. It does not. It just looks like a bunch of empty light orange, light yellow, and pea soup colored seats. But they show up and show out for the men's basketball team, and that environment is going to be crazy on a Wednesday night for the Lobo men when they come to town. The women handled their business on Saturday. 98-60 victory for the Lobo women. 16 made threes, career high 8 made 3-point shots for Latasia Duff. By the way, the women now host the first and second place teams in the Mountain West Conference. Thursday night, it's UNLV. Saturday, it's San Diego State at the Pit. JJ Buck, Amory with you. It's the opening drive, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. So the Lobos had to respond. They were pushed. They were trailing down the stretch. Head coach Rich Pitino, post-game, the boys on the Lobo Radio Network talked about how his team responded in the second half with Air Force playing their best basketball.
Huge win. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for Air Force and the way that they played. They're much improved from last year. Their offense, their cuts got faster, more physical. They were getting cut fouls. We broke down a little bit. They went up 4, but then we settled down. We calmed down a little bit. Sometimes Air Force makes you look a little silly, and they almost check your confidence a little bit. And we just had to tell them, just relax. It's hard to simulate this. It's different. And then we made some big plays down the stretch.
They did, closing game at 19-10. The point Air Force went up 4. There's about 11 minutes left in the second half. Is 53-49. And at that point in the half, Air Force was shooting 50% from the field. The Lobos were all of 1 of 7. They got to the free throw line a few times, 4 of 6. Lobos had 4 turnovers in the first 10 minutes of the second half. This game was all Air Force to that point, which is why they had to respond. But they responded in front of a huge crowd. It's the Falcons. It's Friday Night Basketball, and yet 15,000 Lobo fans still showed up at the Pit. And it's something that we're going to talk about tomorrow because we got Sports Illustrated writer Kevin Sweeney joining us 9:15 tomorrow. He wrote the article about his trip to the Pit for the Boise State game and some of that Pit magic coming back because that's a real thing. But Rich Pitino, Lobo fans, you did it again. You impressed him with showing up.
But we just needed to find a way to get the win. And, sitting at 19-3, 6-3 is great. Crowd was unbelievable to get over 15,000. It's just like I've said over and over again, it's so fun to be a part of because the community is just coming together. And obviously, Hunter, Rob, you guys done it a long time, but it's just so cool to see everybody come together. They love this building. They love this team. So we don't want to send these fans home unhappy. So happy we were able to get a win.
So 2 things quickly. Sek looked like he might have been hit in the face as he went down. Didn't come.
That was Rich Pitino on the fan base. 3rd time this season, 15,000+ in the Pit. 505-246-0610 at 377 Brewery. Hotline. Rudy, what's going on? How you doing?
Well, back among the living, last week was a pretty tough week. It wasn't COVID, but it was doctor doesn't know, But I rallied and was able to just kind of sit there and watch the Air Force game in person. And what I'm thinking is maybe Tay Duff can go touch the hands of all the Lobo shooters because I've never seen anybody shoot the ball like that. She was unbelievable against Utah State. The shot before halftime had to have been 35 feet, JJ.
Oh, Cumber's straight on 3? Or
yeah. I mean, they're shooting the ball. So that's what UNM has to be able to do Wednesday up there in Logan, and that's run good offense because Utah State runs good offense. And I think if they do that, they'll come away the winner. And this is a huge game for the men. They got to go up there and they got to figure out a way to beat Utah State and separate themselves from Utah State in this race. But I think you're going to have 15,000 the rest of the season for the men, so let's also rally for the women. You know, they've got a huge 2-game stretch here where they can take down the first and second place teams.
Absolutely, Rudy. Appreciate the phone call. And look right now on the men's side: Nevada 6-3, Utah State 6-3, New Mexico 6-3. Right now, Nevada has the edge on the Lobos in their meeting. They get the return game coming up here in a couple weeks. We'll see Utah State and New Mexico for the first time on Wednesday night. Boise State, they're 7-2. They beat Colorado State 80-59 on Saturday. And the Aztecs rolled San Jose State 72-51. Utah State beat Fresno State 70-53. And then that UNLV game against Nevada 68-62. Man, UNLV is going to be the most dangerous team outside the top 5.
Absolutely.
When we get to Las Vegas. And you know, Fresno State, we saw how pesky they were in the matchup against the Lobos. And Lobos.
None of these games are going to be easy, JJ. Yeah. Can't sleep on any of these teams.
Because UNLV's 3-6 in conference play. But they're going to make it when they're healthy. So they got an extra player back in the rotation over the weekend. That 6-point win over Nevada. 6 teams that you look at, and you could figure out a way for them to win the Mountain West Conference Tournament. That's also why these games at home as favorites are must-win for the Lobos to keep that at-large resume intact for March. JJ Buck, Amory. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the one.
The Roman numerals, but you know your stats and you can name like any player.
Yards per play, let's go. Yards after contact, I'm in. Other stuff, X squared plus Y is Z, and I don't know, and here we go. It's opening drive, 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, Amory with you this Monday morning. The initial thoughts on the Super Bowl, just yes. We had 4 great teams left. There were a lot of combinations of, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Kansas City, San Francisco, Philadelphia. They're the 1 seed. These were the 4 best teams. And I'm taking into account even Buffalo. I thought it was insane that they were 5.5-point favorites over Cincinnati. So I still think Buffalo is the 3rd best team in that group. Not just with watching the performance against Cincinnati. I think that Kansas City and Cincinnati have elevated themselves to a different level in the AFC. The 49ers are the best roster in football. Best roster in football. The one team that could match them top to bottom was Philadelphia. And the difference was, Philadelphia had their dude, and San Francisco didn't have a quarterback. And so there was 0 chance of them coming back in the game. And so San Francisco, you're frustrated. You feel like you had the opportunity ripped away because there was nothing they could do in that second half. You can scream all you want about running the Wildcat offense. They should have been prepared. What are you preparing for? You have Brock Purdy and Josh Johnson. After that, there was nothing you could do once Josh Johnson got hurt. You just put Brock Purdy in there to hand it off. They would have been the same offense. It would have been Christian McCaffrey either catching a snap and running or handing it off. So that was a bummer. And so the second half of the NFC Championship game, you probably were able to get some of your Sunday chores done. Got some laundry done before the AFC game started.
I started meal prepping, JJ.
It's a bummer. It's sad.
Was just
it's unfortunate.
So sad. We live for this. I live for this, and I was like, dang it. Plot twist.
And here we are.
Here we are.
4th
string quarterback goes down.
Yeah.
I was about to see Christian McCaffrey.
You don't have QB5 at that point. You got nothing left.
I don't know.
I don't
think we've ever seen that.
It might have been the fullback. There was that moment where Christian McCaffrey was like, do I put the helmet on that has the the play calling in
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Like, what's going to be a wildcat offense the rest of the game? Like, what are they couldn't throw the ball.
And it was over.
It was over.
So Philadelphia is still a really good team, which is why it's going to be back and forth the next 2 weeks with who's going to be favored from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. You got the Andy Reid Bowl narrative storyline. Andy Reid was great in Philadelphia.
Great.
And it's one of those ones where it was just time to move on. Like, Andy Reid could have still been coaching in Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
But the Eagles, they're happy because you know what they got? They got a Super Bowl win. Like, Doug Peterson, Nick Foles won them a game.
With a backup quarterback.
So it worked out for them.
It worked.
Just as it has worked out for Andy Reid in Kansas City and what he has built. And now having Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback. Third Super Bowl appearance for this group. Now, if you go back to the Tampa Bay one, they went in there with zero offensive line.
It was
Couldn't
awful.
figure it out, and they got slaughtered by Tampa Bay. But at least you have 2 weeks. Patrick Mahomes just did that on one ankle. So
they'll be in a dome.
I'm assuming he's going to be good to go. Yeah, it's not going to be 0
It's going to
degrees
be
outside.
nice weather in a dome in Arizona. It's going to be a wild. That weekend is going to be insane in Arizona with all the sport events going on.
You have is the Phoenix Open that
Oh
weekend?
yes, Waste Management is that weekend. That is going to. Anyone
you
who lives
had
in
to
Arizona,
book a hotel room like 8 years.
I
in
know.
advance for this
I
one.
looked in it way in advance.
Like, that's insane.
It was insane.
It's going to be fun. And then it's kind of your initial reactions. Where's your gut taking you? This is opened 1.5 point line last night in favor of Philadelphia. It's at 2, and it's going to swing back and forth. It's going to be a lot like we watched with Kansas City, Cincinnati all last week.
It's 1.5 because that's what Patrick Mahomes is playing on right now.
If that.
And not to take away from Jalen Hurts, he has been injured too. So
these 2 weeks are big
this
for
is
Hurts.
big
Because he's looked really good.
Of course.
The biggest question to me going into the Giants game was, can Jalen Hurts push the football downfield? He answered that question. And then it was, what kind of confidence do the Eagles have in Hurts still being able to run the football, use the zone read game, get out of the pocket? And they answered that with calling design runs against the
He
Giants.
still ran for
And then
40
you
yards
saw
yesterday.
it yesterday, where it can get frustrating watching play calling happen sometimes, because in the first half you're like, Philadelphia, why are you even trying? Like, why are you even calling zone reads? What are you doing
against the number 1 defense?
But it's all part of the process. Because then you saw in the second half, Philadelphia make some plays. Jalen Hurts did enough. He played a clean football game.
They coasted.
They had 4 rushing touchdowns, which was impressive against that 49ers defense. The 49ers defense had to be perfect once you're down to QB4. And they couldn't be. And that's where I give Philadelphia credit for closing the game out. Because there was a moment there for a quarter and a half that they could not get anything going. The one mistake Kyle Shanahan made in that game, you got to throw the challenge flag. You just got to throw it on the Devontae Smith catch on that 4th down conversion. The Eagles hustled up to the line. Devontae Smith knew what he was doing. The Eagles were locked in. Like, let's get up here. Let's run a play. At that moment in time as a coach, you just got to throw the challenge flag. If you burn it, so be it. That was a huge play because it led to the first touchdown. And then we see how things play out after the fact, losing the quarterback injuries. And so you can't look at the coaching staff. Like, there's no blame for anyone.
No.
Like, you lost 2 quarterbacks. There's nothing you can do at that moment in time.
And even as a number 1 defense, they still the Eagles didn't wow me yesterday. And that's not taken away from them. I was really excited about this game, JJ, because I was like, the Eagles are going to face the number 1 defense. And they're explosive. The Eagles are good on both sides of the ball. But I was really excited to watch them play a number 1 defense. And I thought defense was going to win this game. No, but having a 4th string quarterback go down, it's just
it was game over. But there was still that moment right before halftime, before the injury to Josh Johnson, where we saw a 49er squad that you did not see during the stretch.
Debo and Christian Daniels and Christian McCaffrey are just going to start taking snaps.
Because even before Josh Johnson got hurt, how they ended the first half took away most momentum for them. Because you have the drive where Philadelphia converts a 4th and 1 in their own territory.
It was a gut punch.
And then, was it 4 or 5 penalties on that drive? Like, the flags just kept coming on the 49ers.
So
just kept coming.
Yes, they had 11 penalties versus Eagles had 4 yesterday.
And then so they score, and it's 14-7 late in the first half. And then you have Josh Johnson just drop the snap. He just drops it.
That's so bad for 49.
And it sets up a short field where, hey, talking about that vaunted defense, you just got 2 drives in a row. Because instead of being able to hold Philadelphia for a field goal attempt, Eagles pounce right on them, short field, another rushing touchdown. And so there were some warts on the day for the 49ers. Yes, they lost their opportunity to come back because they didn't have a quarterback that could throw the football. But that final stretch, 5 to 6 minutes of the first half, was the worst the 49ers defense looked all season.
It was bad.
To give up 14 points. And I know, I get it, the third touchdown in the first half was in a short field. But that's where you got to make one more play. You got to get it to halftime, at worst, 17-7. But then it's 21-7. You're on QB4. And then you come out. Josh Johnson takes the hit. He's in concussion protocol. You have to put Brock Purdy out there to take snaps, but he can't throw the football. And that's what happens. And that's why I said the name. I did. I said Tom Brady. Got some people that have some thoughts on that, including 49er fans on my 49er quarterback take. But I also want to throw this out there. This is on the text line. You can text in 505-246-0610. It says, while many a sports talk show host now says the Bengals and 49ers loss is devastating to their fan bases, the groups know, and I guess he's talking about San Francisco and Cincinnati, know it's better to lose in the conference championship game than the Super Bowl.
No.
Is it?
No, absolutely not.
You know who you need to ask
Everyone
about
just
that?
wants to go to the Super Bowl. That is the goal.
A loss is a loss.
I'd rather go to the Super Bowl all day than keep continuing to lose NFC championships.
Like, losing in the Super Bowl hurts more than, say, losing in a conference championship game, but you don't get the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. Like, that's a wild take.
What is that? An
Like,
Aaron
losing,
Rodgers?
so should the
Was that
Cowboys
Aaron
feel
Rodgers
should the
text?
Cowboys feel good?
Yeah.
That they can't win their first playoff game? Well, at least they didn't lose in the Super Bowl. Like, I don't think most fans are of that opinion.
No. Your goal is to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, at least, hey, it's the whole, at least you got blown out because it would have hurt more to lose on the final possession. Really? I want that chance. If I'm a fan of a team, I want them to have a chance to win said game, have a chance to win a championship. Ask the Buffalo Bills. That's who we need to talk to. The Buffalo Bills, who lost 4 straight Super Bowls. Would they have rather just lost all those games in the AFC Championship instead of losing 4 straight Super Bowl appearances? 505-246-0610, the 377 Brewery hotline and text line. So, Tom Brady. Is he a name that you need to watch for? 49er fans, there's a couple of you already saying, oh, slow down. But I think you might be getting a phone call. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
How about the Detroit Lions?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudal with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask. Well, first.
Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe playing zone right now.
Fight's 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
The perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
Quick this shot, they got a shot up with 5 seconds. Transition 3's up, and it's hit at the buzzer by Ian Tolingsberg. Picture perfect execution, ball it hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually have. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera. I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Brian Calb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue.
We'll find out more today about Brock Purdy and his elbow injury. Initial reports are that it was UCL. Hear that a lot with pitchers in baseball. A UCL injury. Brock Purdy took the hit. Hassan Reddick got him, strained it, and you can tell he just couldn't grip the football to throw it. The severity of that injury changes the offseason for the San Francisco 49ers. It might make them make a phone call that they wouldn't have before this. Because San Francisco can go into next season confident in their ability.
Oh, absolutely.
With Brock Purdy and Trey Lance.
Let the Disney movie continue.
That's a truth. However, what if Brock Purdy does need Tommy John surgery? That puts the start of the season, that puts next year in doubt. And Trey Lance is still the guy you picked third overall. He's going to get the opportunity. However, this is the best roster in the NFL. You're not going to be able to run it back that many more times with this group.
No.
And so you're looking at a 1-year window in that case. If it's Brock Purdy needs Tommy John surgery, then I don't think it's crazy to lob a phone call to one of those unrestricted free agents, and that man is Tom Brady. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, A. Marie with you this morning. 246-0610 is the 377 Brewery hotline. And I had someone say, hey, 50-plus year Niner fan here. We don't need Tom Brady. Stay with Jimmy, Brock. Injuries are part of the game, and this was an absolute fluke. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo is a free agent.
You can stick with those quarterbacks and still have Tom Brady.
And I think if you're Jimmy G, you're looking at this situation. Are you coming back and they're giving you the starting job? Or are they going to go, hey, we're going Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, whole rookie quarterback contracts? And I think Jimmy G's going to look at maybe the Jets. Carolina could lob him a phone call. Maybe even find himself in Miami. The uncertainty's there. Because that quarterback market, in terms of unrestricted free agents, it's Tom Brady. It could be Lamar Jackson, but the Ravens are not going to make him an unrestricted free agent without you having to give up something, at least draft picks. Because they could tag him where you can negotiate with him, but then you sign him, you got to give draft picks away. It's Jimmy G. So if it's Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, yeah, I'm confident in running it back, but I'm thinking in the back of my mind, 1-year window.
Get them fully healthy.
Crazy.
I mean, these injuries are insane, and you don't know how they're going to play after coming back from injury, or I don't know. What about first game comeback, injury again? Like, this is crazy.
Phil wants to talk about the 49ers. What's going on, Phil? How you doing?
Hey, man, I was just listening to your going over the 49ers game, and you covered most of it, but how bad of luck can they have? First of all, that pass that never should have been a completion that leads to the first touchdown. Second of all, they lose Brock. How about then they bring in Josh, and what's he do? He can't even field the hike, and they give the ball to Philadelphia, and that's how they end the half. I mean, it was over when that happened, don't you think?
Yeah, that stretch to end the first half, you don't see the 49ers play like that. The back-to-back touchdown drives, even I get it, it's a short field after Johnson dropped the snap, but man, that was a devastating moment right before halftime.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to comment on that too, because that's what got me, because they were almost to go in at halftime only down 7 points.
Yeah. And that was before Johnson got hurt, and now we're talking about it, with both quarterback injuries. But if you go into halftime still a 7-point game, it's a much different feeling than giving up two touchdowns.
Absolutely. That's all I wanted to really say. I just couldn't believe that all that happened to them there before the half was even over,
Yeah, Phil, appreciate the phone call. And that moment, it was just so unlike the San Francisco team we've watched all season long, that overcame so much adversity, that played great football from Trey Lance to Jimmy G to Brock Purdy. Like, to overcome all that and figure it out. And then to have the moment where the penalties on defense, your QB4 just dropping the snap, just dropped it. And then Philadelphia pouncing all over those mistakes to score 2 touchdowns right before half. So it's 21-7. And at that point in time, Josh Johnson's still in the game because he didn't get hurt until early in the third quarter. So you're like, oh, that's frustrating, but at least there's a chance. And that is how good San Francisco is. And I will keep saying it over and over again. That you're sitting there watching the game with QB4 in, and you're like, I think they still got a chance.
You do.
I think they can compete in this game.
You did.
and then it all went away when you got to go back to QB3 who doesn't have an elbow. But the offseason, it's interesting. I'm throwing out Tom Brady just because you need 1 year. Can you develop Brock Purdy and Trey Lance? Yes.
Too much uncertainty there.
The giant question is, if Brock Purdy needs Tommy John surgery, that changes it.
Yes.
Because then it's Trey Lance and who? That's when I'm lobbing a phone call to Tom Brady.
Maybe it could break the curse that we've been talking about, JJ.
It feels like there's a little bit of a curse.
There's a little bit of curse, like, and this is nothing against Jimmy G or Brock or Trey Lance, but these injuries, I don't think I've ever seen a whole roster of quarterbacks, and it's too young. We've seen Jimmy G be a backup, and he's been in forever, and he's done a good job. He's been your holdover guy, but I don't think he's the one you marry. I mean, he should be.
And I think
he's
even
a nice
for Jimmy
guy.
G, like that's a place where he can be successful. He knows he can win.
Successful.
He took them to the Super Bowl.
He's been successful, but it still goes along with the curse.
But it's still awkward.
It still goes along with the curse. It still goes along with the curse. And the uncertainty.
They said goodbyes. They brought him back. He's winning games, but he gets hurt again. And that's the whole reason Trey Lance is there.
And
because that happens to Jimmy G.
We don't know if Trey Lance is going to be their franchise quarterback. We saw him for 3 games. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, went on this magical run, but it's because of the roster. So you could develop him into a quarterback, but there's too much. I think you're spot on with you cannot waste this roster. So get a veteran, really good quarterback, put him in this system, and I think there's going to be a problem.
And this conversation changes based on the severity of that elbow.
Insert any of these quarterbacks, and not to take away from Brock Purdy, because I honestly think it would have been 49ers game if he would have stayed healthy. I mean, he was 4 for 4 before he went out. Okay, JJ, and that's a joke. But insert any of these quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, the top 10 quarterbacks in the San Francisco roster, they'd be monsters.
If surgery is not needed, if it's not a ruptured UCL, I'm confident about San Francisco going to camp with Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. I am. But I do think it changes if it's just Trey Lance. And the whole development thing with Trey. Yeah, you could develop him. But in a 1-year scenario, I think this roster as constructed is good enough to cover up even for an old Tom Brady. Because watching Tom Brady play for the Buccaneers,
also
there wasn't a time this season where I was watching Tampa Bay and I went, man, Tom Brady doesn't have it anymore. Which is, the dude's like 40, but he's going to be 46 years old. At some point in time, his arm is going to fall off.
Point and blank too, JJ, is Tom Brady is like, he's not going to stay with the Bucs, and I'm not saying this is a good or bad thing, but he's not going to go to a team that doesn't have a chance. He's not going to go to a rebuild. He's not going to go to a reload. He's going to go to a team where
he doesn't have a lot of options in that
That's
game.
what I'm saying. Where's he going to go?
Good teams have their quarterback.
I know everyone keeps saying the Raiders, so what, he could be reunited with his offensive
feels so
or
good.
Whatever coordinator or what, I don't know. They don't believe in titles in New England.
The good teams got their quarterbacks. But this is the one team with
he doesn't want. He wants to go and he wants to go to win, and he can do whatever he wants because he's Tom Brady, and this is now makes all sense, and everything always works out for him. So it's probably going to happen.
This changes based on the elbow. Wait and see.
Yeah, we didn't think this was going to happen.
It's on my mind now.
Because, JJ, I even thought, though, I didn't think Brock Purdy do you think Brock Purdy was going to be a starting quarterback if he went to the Super Bowl?
Next year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's take out the saddest game ever yesterday. You think he'd be starting quarterback if he went to the Super Bowl?
I think even if they lost yesterday's game, he played well.
Yeah.
To me, it wasn't, he has to win.
He has, correct. But I'm saying, do you think in general, whatever the scenario is, except him getting hurt yesterday?
I think that San Francisco is comfortable with that quarterback room.
No,
I think they're confident in those guys. I think that is fair. But you also have to take a step back and look at the big picture. And and that changes, because Brock Purdy, it could be like, hey, he has a strain. He'll be good. He'll be throwing the football. And give him 8 weeks off. He's all set for the offseason. And then if you're San Francisco, okay, Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, go on with it. But if he needs elbow surgery, if he's going to be out, and it's just Trey Lance, that changes. Because I don't know if you're going to be able to get Jimmy G back. Maybe that's where they go. Now, is Jimmy G going to want to take another 1-year deal for whatever? I think if I'm Jimmy G, I shot myself around a little bit. See if I can get a 2-3 year deal, make some money. Because he knows that, yeah, you can win at a high level in San Francisco.
I just think
But
he
how
has
many
a
times
good,
are you going to come?
That's what I'm saying, though. I think he has a good situation. It might not be ideal, and you want to be the
Now,
starting
would you
quarterback.
go, here's the question.
See, I think I'd
Would you
stay
go
in San
Jimmy
Francisco.
G? Say Brock Purdy's hurt. Like, let's say that he needs surgery, so like early season next year, it's in doubt. You got Trey Lance coming back from the ankle leg injury. So all right, they got to bring someone in. Are you running it back with Jimmy G and saying, all right, Jimmy, you're going to start camp. It's going to be a competition again with Trey Lance, which he just went through. Or are you lobbing a phone call to Tom Brady in a 1-year scenario? That's what San Francisco has to ask themselves as they figure out how to try to maximize
I think you lob it.
this roster. 505-246-0610 is a 377 Brewery hotline and text line. What say you, football fan, 49ers fan? But it's all about Kansas City and Philadelphia. They're going to the Super Bowl. It's the Andy Reid Bowl. The opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is your home.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit.
Theme: barbecue versus Philly cheesesteak. Super Bowl.
I'm telling you, I've been doing this throughout the playoffs. It's a lot of fun.
For like your game day eats?
Yeah, so yesterday, we were going to do cheesesteaks, and then we're like, okay, like I haven't had rice-a-roni. I couldn't think of what I want for
San Francisco
since I
treat.
was like a kid. I haven't had it since I was a kid. Not to hate on it, I just don't have rice-a-roni in the house. I
totally forgot about
that. We got
When
really.
you think of San Francisco, you think of the rice-a-roni
I'm pretty
treat.
proud of myself too. We had everything in our house to make In-N-Out animal-style fries. I had like a potato that I haven't chopped up, and I was meal prepping, so I made In-N-Out animal-style fries.
Was that? And that was for
San Francisco, because
Okay,
In-N-Out
In-N-Out,
you can get
Cali.
in San Francisco, Cali. I don't know. And
Maybe
then,
like sushi or something?
yeah, yeah. So that would have been good. And then for Kansas City barbecue, and then for Cincinnati, a famous place.
Skyline chili?
Yeah, we had some cans because my husband's from the Midwest, and my mother-in-law sent us some. But it's not the greatest, but
Put your chili on your spaghetti.
But I'm telling you, it's fun though.
Not bad.
The theme. Now
I
we
like
got
that.
cheesesteaks
So-
and Kansas City barbecue.
I'm going to admit something. I've never had a Philly cheesesteak.
So I lived on the East Coast, and I've been to Philly a million times. So good.
Are they worth it?
Yes.
Okay.
They're
I've
like
never
they're
had a Philly
worth they're
cheesesteak.
worth the cheat meal. They're worth the cheat meal.
I do a lot of cheat meals, so.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Actually, Jersey Mike's has a really good one.
Okay.
I know.
They
they're-
talk
I know
about
we
it all
have.
the time.
I know we have them on a lot, and just that wasn't a
I'll have to
promotion for
try
them. Just if you're gonna do it here, do that.
I'll have to try it since. you was
Unless
in
someone
Super
out
Bowl.
here in Albuquerque has a recommendation for me, but Jersey Mike's has a pretty legit one.
JJ Buck Amory, thank you for joining us in the opening drive this morning. Super Bowl is set. Kansas City and Philadelphia. A lot to take away from the two championship games. The push heard around the world. Just let the man run out of bounds. At the end of the game. Just let him run out. That's one of the ones you got to call.
You're already just so frustrated by the officiating too, JJ, because there were some tough calls that I did not agree with, like the intentional grounding and whatnot. But it was just frustration on top of frustration. That was just the cherry on top of the Sunday.
And it wasn't a very
It
good
was so
cherry
stupid.
if you're Cincinnati.
It was not good.
Just let him run out.
He let his emotions. It was not
You
good.
know anyone along the sideline, they're going to have a close eye on that, especially when it's a quarterback. You know that. It's not a surprise.
It's not good.
And he can't make that mistake because
We've
he
seen
gave
it all
him
year.
15 yards with no
God,
timeouts.
We've seen it all year, even remember with Heineke when
Yes.
the Commanders beat the
He
Eagles.
took that awkward kneel and then it was hit.
But
and, through the
and I'm
flag.
not saying it's the same thing, but we've seen it all year where every quarterback, not just your Aaron Rodgers, your Tom Brady's, your Mahomes, every quarterbacks are getting those calls. So that was not smart.
Speaking of quarterbacks,
Live and
what do
learn.
the 49ers do moving forward? 505-246-0610. Adolf, you're on the opening drive. What's going on, Adolf?
Hey, thanks for taking the call. Yeah, just a few observations here. First of all, the catch that Devontae Smith made that really wasn't a catch. I don't know why the coach for the 49ers, Shanahan, didn't throw that flag to protest that one. It should have been quite apparent that the way Philadelphia was running down the field and how Devontae Smith was essentially getting that team to the line of scrimmage that fast, okay? A coach has to be in the moment. And that was a huge screw-up by the catch that really wasn't a catch. Obviously, that then led to 7 points. The next thing, and I blame the coaching staff for this, you have a fourth-string quarterback coming in, okay? All that fourth-string quarterback, Josh Johnson, has done that previous week is pretend that he's Jalen Hurts to prepare your defense, okay? The first thing that you do, you have to simplify the playbook. And by doing that, you assist that fourth-string quarterback. Now, when they have Josh Johnson taking the snaps in the shotgun formation, that was a situation that was ripe for a fumble. He does not know the cadence. the offensive line, the center. They don't know the cadence, okay? He looked totally surprised when that ball came from the center, and he basically muffed catching the football. That is attributable to the head coach and the offensive coordinator. He has to basically have those plays taken under center because he is not used to taking the snaps in the shotgun formation. What happened on that fumble? That's the difference between going in the locker room at half down by 7 and down by 14. That's what that was, okay? I've been watching this game over 60 years. I couldn't believe when they continued to make that same mistake, having Josh Johnson take the snap in the shotgun formation. That is absolutely egregious in a championship game. Anyway, thanks for taking my call. I'm out.
Sound off. And he's a Bears fan, so that was a real passion right there.
But the problem is, Josh Johnson was ready for the snap. He just dropped it.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't surprised.
Hey,
you watched
those
that
big
play.
moments. I know.
And as Adolph was breaking it down, I pulled it up again to watch. He wasn't surprised about the snap. He wasn't caught off guard. He just dropped it. And if the dude's been in the NFL for a while, and even though he's QB4, if he can't take a shotgun snap, then don't be on the roster. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think that was a Kyle Shanahan mistake. A quarterback should be able to take a shotgun snap. The dude just dropped it. And if he was pretending to be Jalen Hurts in practice, guess what he was doing? He was taking a lot of shotgun snaps in practice. That's what Philadelphia does. So there's blame to be put on Kyle Shanahan for not challenging that call. Absolutely. We all saw it. The way that Devontae Smith was reacting, even if it was, oh, got you, actually made the catch, wanted to make you waste a challenge, okay. You still got to throw the flag if you're Kyle Shanahan. Now, Josh Johnson taking snaps from the shotgun, I don't think that was like some missed coaching call.
No, it was.
Yes,
made
he's
a
a back.
mistake. He made a mistake.
He's caught hundreds, probably at this point
made
in
a
time,
mistake
thousands
in a
of snaps.
championship game.
The dude just dropped it. If you look at it, it wasn't a snap where Josh Johnson's looking away. He wasn't walking up to talk to the offensive line. He called for the snap. It hit his hands and he dropped it. So I can't put that on Kyle Shanahan.
Starters do it as well.
I can't say that, well, your quarterback can't take a shotgun snap. Now, it would have been different if it was, he wasn't ready and he's walking up, or he got the cadence wrong and the snap surprised him. But if you watch that play, his hands are up. He's waiting for it, and he just drops it.
JJ, it was a mistake by him. Even the starters do it. The GOAT has done it. Everyone's done it. That wasn't the problem. They just couldn't throw the ball in general. Couldn't run the ball.
Well, it became a problem because Philadelphia
yes.
immediately scored.
3 turnovers.
But
yes.
I can't look
3 turnovers total
at Josh Johnson taking a shotgun snap in that moment that he was ready for, and he just dropped.
Yeah.
And say that was bad coaching.
Right.
The dude should be able to catch a snap. Been in the NFL long enough. Even if you're the practice squad quarterback, you're taking those
constant gut punches. Second quarter yesterday.
That was that moment. There's 14 points in the final few
moment.
minutes of the second quarter.
Change fate.
Changed that game.
Changed the fate. Changed it from a Disney movie to a horror movie.
Real quick. And went from next on Disney Plus to,
just bloodbath.
in my Shyamalan film coming up. So you're going to sacrifice real quick for the San Francisco 49ers.
Very frustrating.
JJ Buck, Marie, opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
And before we get out of here, I have to tell you about your go-to spot in Albuquerque. Your go-to spot before all your local sports. I'm talking Lobos, Isotopes, what it be. I'm talking about 377 Brewery. I've been telling you about it for weeks. It's awesome. It's on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. Very conveniently located next to the pit, Isotope Park. All over there. Now you got to get out there because it's fun. We're having events right now. Lobo basketball coming off a big win. That was our last pregame party event. We have pregame party events before every home Lobo game right now, and we plan to do more events for United, Isotopes, Lobo football, all Lobo sports in general. But right now, we're focusing on men Lobo hoops every home game. The next pregame party is February 7th. We do it 2.5 hours before the game, so you can come in, get out, and you're like 377 Brewery. It's a small brewery. No, people don't know. There's a big event space in the back, a big room that we've been filling with Cherry Red. So come out next pregame, February 7th. We have food specials, drink specials, and it's a really good place for Lobo fans and just the community to get together and to support locally. So come out, Lobo fans. Check out 377 Brewery, again, on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson, or check them out at 377brewery.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi, everyone.
Philadelphia, Kansas City. Hard to overlook Patrick Mahomes' performance on one ankle. See where he'll be in 2 weeks. Then you got the Eagles. The defensive line, 78 sacks and counting. A better unit than Cincinnati. Figure they'll hit Patrick a couple times. These 2 weeks, not just big for Patrick Mahomes. But for the Kansas City Chiefs offense, Juju Smith-Schuster was out. Cole Hardman was out. Kadarius Toney was out. Justin Watson was out. Their starters, and then guys that popped at certain times throughout the season. So that's why you had about a Scantling game, 6 receptions, 116 yards, touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, man, that guy got some angry runs. 7th round pick. Talk about Brock Purdy. Isaiah Pacheco, 7th round pick from Rutgers. Getting it done, run the football well. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to swing back and forth. It feels like it's going to be
the Andy Reid Bowl.
The Andy Reid Bowl. Featuring the Kelsey brothers. It feels like it's going to swing back and forth a lot like the Kansas City-Cincinnati line did last week. Where it'll be like 1.5, 2 points this way, 1.5, 2 points the other way.
As it should. This is going to be a tough.
My gut reaction, Kansas City in a 1-score game. And we will have 2 weeks.
We have a lot of time to figure this out, JJ.
Oh, no, I feel that way. As the Eagles... They're going to be ready. And I can't wait to see that front seven against Kansas City's offense. And I think Jalen Hurts can make some plays downfield. And Kansas City made some big-time plays in the second half. That second interception where the two cornerbacks, the cornerback and safety, played that double coverage perfectly on T. Higgins for Joe Burrow's second interception. The first one was just something you don't see Joe Burrow do. Throws such a bad pass. Get picked off. But they had Chris Jones stepping up. Under a minute to go, 3rd down, getting a big-time sack on Cincinnati, forcing the Bengals to punt. Amory, in the moment, I did not feel that Kansas City punting from Cincinnati's 37, which would have been, they were looking at like a 4th and 12.
Special teams looked good yesterday.
But people were losing their minds.
Yep.
Saying, you have Patrick Mahomes. You're at the Bengals 37. More times than not, I'm with you. I'm riding that train. It's be aggressive when you have the ball to win a game. But I didn't feel that way about that punt.
I didn't feel that way
because it worked out because they got the field position. And defensively, they had been playing well. Because people assumed that was the game. You just gave it back to Joe Burrow. And now you're going to have to eat this as he drives down the field to kick a field goal. Which everyone thought was going to happen.
And he didn't. He got sacked.
They did it. So I wasn't as outraged as
People were
most
upset.
fans were about that punt, even that deep in the territory.
I think it was smart to punt.
And it's very rare that I will say that, because even in fourth and extended situations, I want to take my chance when I have control of the football late in game. I don't want to kick it and then hope something happens. I want to go out there and make a play. But I was actually okay with that one. One of those rare times.
Yeah, with how the game was going too, I thought it was the smart move. They trusted the defense.
And they came up. And talk about underrated. It's a Kansas City defense. It's one of those words that it becomes cliche. Overrated, underrated. You throw it out there. Well, we found out how good Cincinnati's defense was on the run last year, on the run this year, and you start to give them some more credit. But Kansas City's that unit that is underrated because no one talks about them. They have a defensive player of the year candidate as a defensive tackle. That doesn't happen. It's been Aaron Donald and no one else in that conversation.
They might not have stood out like maybe like a 49ers defense,
Yes.
but they're a good defense.
They're
not
a good unit. Yeah.
You don't have to be like
Because of the offense they have.
right.
And yeah, it's the
And they
attention
stepped
and
up,
the offensive
and they
performance.
stepped up yesterday because they've played depleted towards the end of the season, and they've been injured. But the injuries are a big thing to take in consideration. But they really stepped up yesterday. They made that Bengals offensive line look like it was a fluke against the Bills. I'm telling you, that was insane. That offensive. I know it was their backups, but
Yeah,
that
you
was
started
bad.
to see like
That was
more
bad.
holes, which you expect with the injuries
Yeah,
that
it's like
Cincinnati
their
has.
backup offensive lines, second string, third stringers.
Three starting offensive linemen out, and then to a better Kansas City front. And I think that's what the Bills. They're going to talk about traction, and they couldn't get their footing in that weather.
Well, that Eagles offensive line is really good, so this is gonna be very interesting to watch.
It was great matchups. It's unfortunate what happened in the NFC Championship game. You're left with that giant what if, and now the offseason storyline for
I
San
kind
Francisco.
of like how it worked out though, like Chiefs Eagles. Like I like a Reed Bowl, but then I would have loved a 49ers Bengals. So as much as I was disappointed in the games, I'm kind of happy how the matchups worked
had
out.
Kansas City, San Francisco again. This
Right.
time with Brock Purdy.
I wasn't mad. I was just disappointed.
The Andy Reid Bowl, or Cincinnati getting back there to play against one of these teams. But we got Kansas City, and we got Philadelphia, and we got time to break it down. Hey, Marie, great stuff as always.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day, Adrian. Appreciate you putting the show up on ProView Networks. We got the Jim Rome Show coming up next. Colin Cowherd at 1. The boys back with you at 4 o'clock. Also got Lobo Talk tonight. Richard Pitino, Mike Bradbury. 7 o'clock right here on The Sports Animal. Back tomorrow with award-winning radio. Everybody, Meta World, peace and love. Have a great day.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. Dream style stucco Your favorite texture, you're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.